Alright, here's a very brief tutorial on how to set up a Turnitin assignment through Moodle and how to import a rubric. So turn your editing on first thing, and then depending on how you've set up your Moodle course, I've set mine up so I have a bunch of information at the top, and then I do everything by the week. So for giggles, let's put it here in week 1. I'm going to add an activity, Turnitin assignment 2. It's going to place it here into week 1, and I'll pull up this thing. Okay, let's call this test paper. Okay, and then I give a summary of details about the paper, when it was due, what the assignment is, whatever. This is a test assignment. If I want to actually have that show up on Moodle, then I'd have to click this little thing so the summary would go in. But you can put whatever information you want in there. Submission types, I would have them do it as a file upload. You don't want them just typing in the assignment into Turnitin directly. Just keep all the rest of this the same. You can change whether you want it to be fractions or a percentage of what they actually earned on it. So, let's say your paper's only worth 20 points, and you want to show what percent they earned. You can do it that way, or you can see how many they got out of 20. Either one's fine. Then you want to give this a name. Again, part 1, I just changed it to the name of the assignment, test paper. And then you can set your start dates and your due dates and all those things right here if you want to. Max grade points, that's just however many, the maximum amount of points you're going to allow to do that. In addition, so under originality reports, you can choose whether or not to allow submissions after the due date. If you don't accept late work, then that would stay no. If you do accept late work, that would be yes. Also, then this checks for plagiarism. So again, you can choose whether you want to include have them include the bibliography or the quoted material as far as the plagiarism report. That's the thing. And then under the grade mark options, okay, you'll want to set this up. This is where the rubric is. Okay. So right now we don't have a rubric set up. It's like no rubric. Now if you have rubrics that you personally have created for other Turnitin assignments, then you could go and find, these are all the ones that I've created for my different classes. Wow. Okay. If you don't have any, say no problem, you're just going to go ahead and launch the rubric manager. Now the rubric manager is basically just a basic scale. Okay, that's just a generic one. Let's start with a new one, the new rubric. Okay. You can choose, there's many different ways to do this. I'm not really going to get into this because I'm just going to show you how to upload. But if you wanted to, you could then create your own rubric based on whatever sets of criteria you want to use. This is how you do it. You just go in there and change this. How much of that, how much is this weighted on your paper? 12%. This is worth 37%. I don't know, just whatever. And then you give the details. Did you spell your name correctly? Okay, whatever. These are the different scales. This is how you could create one. If one's already been created, like we have for this class, a better way to do it is you click on this icon over here to view export. Okay, import or export. So we're going to import a rubric. Now I have sent you the rubric. Okay, you can either click on this to find it, or in this case I just have it listed right here. It ends with the RBC for rubric. Okay, so I'm just going to drag and drop this over here. Pow! It's uploading it, and then I want to select that as a file. I don't want to do that. It should already be done. And then you just close it. And now I have my English 110 5-paragraph essay. Okay, I'm like, wow. Okay, I've already loaded it up like 3 times doing different examples. So that's the one I want to use for this paper. Okay, then I would save and return to the course. This has now been created. And you'll see that here it is under week 1, which is where I put it. Now, to grade papers, you can get to it either by here. If you click on Turnitin assignments, this will just show you the list of the different ones we've done for the whole semester. Or you can just click on the actual link here, and it'll take you directly to it. The rubric, if you want to look at the rubric, you can click on this thing right here. Whoop. and there is the rubric, the 5-paragraph essay. So this is the one we're using for English 110, so it's already set for you. Okay, so it's already set up. I've just loaded it in there, and it has all the information you need. Yay, that's pretty cool. All right, so let's close out of that. So the rubric has already been established for this. Now, when it comes time to grading, there's a few different things you can do. So I don't have any papers here to grade because I just created this. So I'm going to, when something's submitted, it'll actually show you that it's been turned in, when it's submitted, and then the similarity is what percentage of it has been copied and pasted from the internet. For FERPA regulations, I'm not going to show you a real example of anyone's papers because I don't want that out there on the internet. But okay, so I just clicked on this to create. Someone had set in a paper. Okay, or if they want to submit a paper, let's just they can upload it here. Let's upload a paper. Test, and let me find a file that would work. Okay, we'll just throw this in here as a Word document. Okay, so I've added that submission. And when the students add a submission to turn it in, then it'll give them a digital receipt. There it is, the digital receipt. So that is their proof that they submitted it. They said, I submitted it, Professor Morgan. I know I did. And you say, well, where's the digital receipt? And I'll go, this will also be emailed to them. Yeah. Okay, and then I get an email saying they submitted an assignment. Oops. Let's go back to this. Okay, so now you see that the similarity is pending because it's trying to figure out, it's actually searching right now to see whether or not, it's doing the plagiarism check. But let's say I wanted to grade this. So I just click on this little button over here, and that'll bring up my paper. Alrighty, so let's say this is their paper. Again, I just threw in a rubric here. You have a few different options you can do. Now, I'm on the new Feedback Studio, so if you just click anywhere, left click anywhere, it gives you a chance to go to use quick marks, you can make comments, or you can write text. So if you do a comment, then you can type in, this is missing your name. Alrighty. Or you could click on this, whoops, and then actually type in the text, where is your name? Okay, so you can do it that way. This other one here is a quick mark. Now, these are kind of ones you would set up in advance. So you can say quick mark. So these are the different quick marks you could set up. So let's take a look at the 5-paragraph essay one. Okay, so these are all sorts of different quick marks. That's a thing for another time. But so let's say you wanted to say, boy, this is awkward the way this is phrased. So then we'll just, okay. Then I could take and drag and drop this to wherever I want to. Awkward phrasing. Another thing you can do is if you click on this over here, it actually shows you all these. So let's say they wrote something in second person, you just drag and drop. Oh, that second person. Oh, wait, that's a sentence fragment. Oops, you have a comma splice here. And you can create these all you want. Okay, you used who. It should be who, not that. This is improper grammar. And again, you're like, well, what does that even mean? Well, if you click on these, then it gives you the details, okay? Sentence fragment. Sentence fragment. Improper grammar. Sentence was written with an improper grammar. You can put whatever kind of detail you want. Comma splice. Oh, look at that. Woo! Lots of information. Depending on how much you want to do. But again, it just saves you time and effort. So, anyway, so you can put these in here wherever you want. Then when it comes time to actually do the grading, you can click on the feedback summary and leave them notes. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. This does have a way where you can record a voice comment. The problem with this is that if you have to save this paper with their comments, the voice command is really not going to work. So I would recommend just putting the text in there. But when it comes to grading, so we've imported that rubric. This makes it a lot easier. So remember how that rubric we had set up? Well, basically, we just used the slider. And if you notice down here, this changes. It will show you exactly what it is. So let's say you think, or after you've graded it, you feel like their content ideas is a 3. Well, it'll tell you exactly down here exactly what qualifies for that. So let's look under style here, okay? Demonstrates little sentence variety and bland word choice. Tone attempts to be appropriate for an academic audience. You're like, well, it's a little better than that, so let me try a 4. Oh, demonstrates sentence variety and suitable vocabulary that creates a tone appropriate for an academic audience. Kind of see how that would work for you? So with your rubrics all set up, okay, and then once you're done grading this, and everything's got its it's set up properly. Okay, then you just apply to grade, boom, and then boom, it scores it for you. Okay, and then when you're done, you just close out of this, and it will update the grade. And it shows you that 19% of this has been copied and pasted from somewhere else. We'll go back to that in a second. But it has a 72, and that, if you set it up correctly, that will go directly into your grading book. Okay, now let's go back to it and just look at the similarity for a second. So if you see a high number there, especially if it's like a research paper, the 19% right here, this is right here, all the plagiarism stuff. So if you click on this, boom, then it says, oh wait, 19% of this was submitted, to Shaw University. So it shows you exactly where it came from. And you're like, really? What part of it? And it's like, oh, this part down here. Woo! So apparently we had used this at some point in time. But it shows you exactly what was plagiarized and where it came from. So if you say to a student, hey, look, you plagiarized this. And they're like, no, I didn't. You say, yeah, look at this. Okay. Anyway, so that's helpful with that. That's the basics of this. There's a more advanced thing as far as like a grammar spell check, but I'm still figuring that out. And so I would hate to kind of show you that because I don't really know it 100% yet either. But there you go. Now, the other thing that's going to be very helpful is at the end of the semester, when you have to submit all your assessment tools, you have to include them. Well, after you've graded a test like this, then you just click on download, and it will download the paper. Okay, so then, actually that's not what I want to do. I lied. The better way to do this is to click into the thing again, because that would just download the original copy. What you want to do is you want to get into the thing and hit download and then do the current view. Okay, well what that does is that now that'll should create a PDF. Yeah, preparing, yeah, there it is. Okay, and then this would show the report. So this shows all my comments, blah, 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 blah. Okay, at the bottom of this, it shows the grade. It shows exactly what was wrong. Okay, and it shows the rubric, shows exactly what they earned on how they earned it. Okay, so it just makes it extremely easy at the end of the semester to just then do this all in one big shot. Yeah, so very brief overview on what this can do, but it will save you a lot of time and grief down the road if you do it this way. If you have questions, ask somebody else. No, anyway, if you ask questions, I'll do what I can to help you. But again, I'm still figuring this out myself. All right, there you go.